Hi, everybody. It's Sherry St. Marie, and I'm here again with Nick Bobzien, and we'll let him introduce himself. But again, we decided to keep coming back and sharing information with you. We're trying to make this interesting. So we're going to swing between worldwide real estate news, U.S. real estate news, but then also, of course, we both are in Naples, Florida, and part of our Naples area board of realtors. So today we decided we're going to share the beautiful, great, tons of developments that we have in Naples. So I'm going to let Nick go ahead and introduce himself just because each time you might be watching just one episode. So,
Hello, Nick Bobzien. I'm with Downing Fry Realty here in beautiful Paradise, Naples, Florida. And I'm also been in business for 18 years here, all the way to Naples. It's not a bad place to be selling real estate.
it is not a bad place. So today we're
Very
going to
clean place.
brag a little bit. I'm sorry. Sometimes I feel bad. So at least we're doing it in the summer.
Yeah.
I feel bad when we brag in the winter, and then we got our people up north and elsewhere where it feels kind of bad, but it's hot here today. But we're going to go ahead and brag and show you some of our beautiful developments and all of that kind of stuff. Where this came from is Nick has been here for a long time. I came down a couple of years ago. When I first got here, one of the very first things I did looking at how am I going to learn all these developments was, gosh, I got to learn how many are there and what should I do with them and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm going to show you something. One of the first things I bought in our Naples, I can't even, hold on. Here you go. Help me. Look at all of these gorgeous, these are developments.
Each one's a different development.
Yeah. And so
or part of town, section of Naples and stuff like that.
So I'm a nerd. And when I first got here, I was like, oh my gosh, I was, decades being a broker. I knew all my streets, but I remember way back my first year of like, oh my gosh, I do not know what's this street. How much is this neighborhood? So I had to do that when I first started a long time ago. And then when I got down here, here's the nerd. If I got all these all over my kitchen counter and they're gorgeous because I'm going to cover up Nick's face for 1 second. They're gorgeous because they show you the development, but then they also have the street. And here's the cool thing I just learned today about Nick. Who helped make these?
Another realtor with William Ravis, Terry Lynn Van Gorder, and myself worked very hard on those maps with the staff at NABOR, putting those things together, and we had a couple others involved at various parts to it. But it's very tedious. So as you can see, each whether it be a condo building is named, the address is on there, the lot. Times we have a lot of tear down properties, addresses change and stuff like that. So we had to go through every single one, check them all the way down, all the way across. I felt like Google Maps doing this thing. So
but what's fun for me is like, that was years ago. That was the very first thing I used these like crazy. And I'm like, this is so smart. I love this because I've never in my career been able to have that resource. And we can buy them as members right in our Naples
I think we have,
store.
I think there's about 25 or so, 20, 25 developments that we have
mapped out.
Mapped out. Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously, bigger developments that we do, of course, but not every single one. But there's a lot of them.
But what's cool about it is this. So we'll talk to you today about all kinds of different developments, but you might know already a development you're interested in. So we'll talk about lots. I'm just showing one, right? You might come down here and work with Nick or myself. We're separate brokerages. So Downing Fry and EXP, just remember, you might say, Sherry, I already know I want to go into this neighborhood. We can easily show you, obviously, the houses and all that beautiful stuff, but you can hand you this gorgeous map. You might have 3 you're interested in. So we buy them as realtors, and then we share them with our clients if they want to learn more or see the layout of the street, because some of these developments are huge. So I think it's cool.
Especially, I've actually mailed a lot of them to customers up north. And the great thing about them, as a listing comes on the market that you send to them, they can pull the map up and see whereabouts in the neighborhood it's located, which direction is it facing out back? Is it east? Is it west, north, south, and all the various things, and how whereabouts on the street is it at? Is it close to the cul-de-sac, close to the curves, close, stuff like that. So it's a huge resource for the buyers as well to be able to kind of see, especially when they're up north. So.
Yes. So I hope you feel better about all your work now that you know how much I love it. This is what I love about just the assets of what we help people with.
Yeah.
Much more, I think, than a lot of other boards or areas. And so what we're going to do today, now that you've seen just a little visual flair of lots of stuff we have to offer, is we're going to go through the different types of development, because here that was my bigger shock I've shared each time of it's so different. So many are developments and they're from gated to not and all these things.
Yeah.
So I always start with this first question, which I'm sure you do
Yeah.
too, because it matters. And so the whole thing of when you're coming down here, some people are coming to live full time. Some people are coming for just the fun of it.
Yep. Vacation home.
Others aren't going to even live here. They're like, I just want to own a beautiful asset or assets in the area. And we also have, commercial opportunities, all kinds of things. But this is where I always start just to understand, which we don't have necessarily in other states.
Yep.
And so this piece helps us know how to begin talking about the different types of developments and what they might be interested in. Because here's why. We talk like this and other people are not used to this. So we have a luxury of gated, and gated is no big deal. So we don't even talk about gated.
Yeah.
However, when I first came, I was like, I do not need that. That's pretentious. I'm fine. Because I didn't understand. And so this question of, are you buying personally? Are you doing it for investment? Can be different.
Oh, yeah.
So I might have something that I'm personally having it for mine. And so I choose and want to have gated, not because we're so dangerous here. And we'll talk to you about that, but it's having to do with just comfort and those sorts of things.
Yeah.
And I might want an investment that I don't want that, but I want it down by the water.
Yeah.
And so that's why we kind of start with this question.
And plus, especially if they're looking for investment, and you have to understand the rental restrictions within a community as well, because some are definitely much more lenient and some are definitely much more strict. So, if somebody is looking for an investment, you want to make sure you're not putting them or showing them properties in a heavy restricted type of community that's really not going to allow them to rent it.
Yes.
Or very little rental.
Yes.
So,
and we have several that they want their own beautiful home that they will not let anybody in.
Yeah.
And then I also want something that I rent in whatever realm I do. So I have some that even take the big, huge houses and they charge over 11,000 just for 1 month to bring in these 45-foot boats, right?
Yep.
And they rent, and it's grandma and grandpa and the kids and grandkids. And they, so I'm always looking for that for certain people. And so there's a range, which in other countries or states we may not be talking about. And so that's why we start with that, which might seem interesting if you're somewhere else. So we're going to make Nick carry this one a little bit more because he's the golfer. And so I'm the golfer.
So Naples is known as the golf capital of the world. And we have so many golf courses in general around here. And also, the golf developments that we have they vary from one to the other. So for instance, we have some that are called bundle golf communities where every single property in that community has a deeded golf membership with it. Communities like Vanderbilt Country Club, Stonebridge Country Club, they have, every single owner in there is a golf member automatically, and you pay golf dues. Whether you golf or not is irrelevant. The house itself is
It is irrelevant because some of us don't mind being in the golf development.
Well, correct.
I don't golf, but it's fun.
And sometimes one of the owners golfs, the spouse may not, or vice versa. So it's but every single owner is a golf member. We have semi-bundle golf communities, which certain specific subdivisions within the development come with a deeded golf membership. Others come with a deeded social membership, and you cannot change it. So if like Esplanade Golf and Country Club, Treviso Bay are two perfect examples. If you want to be a golf member, there's certain subdivisions within the development that you can only be looking in because you can't change it around. You don't have a choice.
Just 1 second, how would these people know that, or how would you, the realtor, know that, whether it is bundled or not or whatever? Where do
a lot of
get
times
that?
you can get it from the property management's office or
our MLS. We know, right?
Membership within the association, the development, or realtors obviously should know it.
So when you're working with
we look up and
a realtor, that's a nice part. Nick and I can see on the back real easy. Is it bundled? Is it not? Is it, so for the public, that's another reason that it's nice to
because
have access.
the way our MLS system is set up with golf, there's various levels to it that we can search in our MLS to find it, to narrow it down real quick. It helps. We also have some that have the option. You have Windermere, College Reserve, two communities where you have the option to join a social or as a golf. You have to join one of them, but you get to choose. Doesn't matter what home you buy in there, condo, single family home, or anything like that. But you do have to join one or the other, but at least you get the option. And then you have some that are, some that just have a social membership required. Golf is separate if you want to, but you no matter what, you're joining as a social membership. Communities like the Strand and Tiburon have those, and you have some that some golf developments we have where there's no membership required at all. You get Kensington, Quail Creek Country Club, where they have the golf course, they have the social aspects to it, but nothing's required if you don't want to be. So some people love being on a golf course view, from their home, but don't golf, and so those type of communities can work for them as well without having to pay golf fees that they're never using. So it definitely, there's so many different types of golf developments we have here in Naples and all over Southwest Florida. So it's something you really need to know and understand.
But I think the other part is a question of, do you want it completely private golf course, or do you want some are, it is for members, but the public can use some?
Correct.
That would be another option, right?
Lately Resort is a great example. Lately has, there's 2 courses in there that are semi-private, the Flamingo and the Mustang. And then you also have their Classics, which is exclusively private. So if you join at the Classics, you get to play all 54 hole, all 3 golf courses. But if you join at the Flamingo or the Mustang, it's a semi-private and you cannot play the Classics. So and there are some communities like that are, like I said, it's the private only, members only golfing, or you have some that are semi membership basically.
Yep. And I think the nice part is golfers kind of know what they would like to do.
Oh, absolutely.
So this sounded like a big explanation, but we need it, because what we want you to know is we have all these different choices just within, okay, hey, I want to be in a golf community. And then that golfer usually knows, I want it completely private, or I want this, or my person with me does golf or doesn't golf.
Yeah.
And what are those pieces? But that's the part that's nice, is that this whole area was built for all kinds of golfers.
Yeah.
And that's why people come here in the winter and sweat in the summer to golf and all these good things, right?
Yep, exactly. And there's, the golf courses vary from level of play too, which is nice. We have some that are championship golf courses. Even the PGA Tour comes down to use them. The LPGA Senior Tour, they come actually, like at Tiburon, they use those courses. Twin Eagles, they've used those in the past. But so we have some that are just where they can be very challenging, for the really good golfers, low handicappers. Some are definitely much more social aspects, where they have men's clubs, or men's leagues and women's leagues and couples leagues and stuff like that. They do a lot more with it versus just golfing.
Yeah.
So it's good to, it's obviously, it's very helpful to know the differences between the golf courses. And obviously, like you said, each buyer, especially looking in a golfing community, knows what they're looking for as far as what they want out of the membership.
And my comment will be, we also have a golf course for sale here in the area that I can't exactly say which one it is, but there's a golf course for sale. And so if you'd like to buy a whole golf course, just get a hold of me and I can help you out with that. How's that?
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, homeowner association. So this is unique. So, basically homes up north that are in homeowner associations is very different than homes down in Florida or, Naples and stuff like that have homeowner associations.
So as an example, here's one. I didn't want a homeowners association, right? I like all my freedoms.
Yep.
However, up north, I tended to be in new construction areas because I like to build houses. And so, but an HOA up there, yes, we have rules that you can't park your truck or your camper.
Yeah.
Here's my difference. Do you know what my HOA was in a brand new subdivision up there? $121 a year. That's different than here. So go ahead.
We do have some that are $100 a year, but we have some that are $10,000.
More of them are different. So let's talk about the difference.
Big variety. So we have some. We have some that are mandatory HOAs, where you are required to become a member of that association. You're required to abide by their covenants, rules, and restrictions. It's all governed by Florida Statute 720. And with that, basically, you are restricted. You can't paint the exterior of your house unless you have approval on the color. A lot of it's parking on the streets, blocking sidewalks, landscaping, anything like that. You have to have approval from the association to be able to do anything on the exterior of the home. Condos are a little bit different, because in condos you have to have approval for pretty much anything you do, because you are in a multifamily structure. The fees can vary big time.
Very huge amounts.
One of my listings in Marbella Isles, those fees are only $1,400 a quarter, but it includes it's a gated community. You have it's a man gate.
Yes.
You've got amenities there, clubhouse, pool, all sorts of fun stuff to do. Lawn care is included. So
That's what's different here.
it can vary. Yeah.
So, you're used to
A
this.
lot of them have lawn care included.
But I came down here, my adult kids, I like to still do the yard. I'm a weird one. But when I came down here, I'm like, I don't need them to do the yard or whatever. I've now caught on to, you go ahead and do the yard. I'm okay with it. But
Especially this time of year.
But even in the single standing homes and a lot of places, they're doing your yard.
Yeah.
And so that is a whole new thought when you're looking at what do I want to, and am I flying back to another place or location? With that's kind of nice. But a lot of people don't realize it when they're first looking at fees and they're going, why am I doing all this? Or, I like the freedom and I like to pick colors and I like to, so, I mean, that was hard for me at first. I was like, I don't know about this, but part of why they're doing that is to protect the real estate and the value of the real estate. And that's what we need to remember, right? Of the continuity.
Exactly. It's meant to protect the values and stuff like that. Yeah. Because obviously if you several nice houses and all of a sudden you get a bright pink one and then a blue, bright blue, and all of a sudden you got neon colors. It changes the dynamics and the values of the properties.
Not everybody has taste.
Yeah, there you go. We have communities where you can paint the house whatever color you want to.
Yes,
so
that is true.
If that's who
we'll
you
talk
are,
about them. Yes.
If you want to have your personality come out, via the exterior color of your house, it can be done here.
There is a Green Bay Packer house up north. I don't know how they do down here, but there is.
We also have, some HOAs are, like as I mentioned, they're mandatory. We have also some that are voluntary. We have like Moorings Park Shore has a voluntary membership, which is basically like a beach access membership. Palm River is a voluntary association you can join. It's like $35 a year, $40 a year, something like that. And it basically gives you the option. If you want to join it, you can. If you don't want to join it, you don't have to. So we have a variety. We have some that don't have any association, no homeowner association at all within the communities. So it's a little bit of everything.
I think what's nice is that you also get to decide, like you said, do I want to be involved? I don't have to. But the part I, as a both teacher and realtor, would like to say is you do, whether you like it or not, have a responsibility to keep yourself educated in what is going on with your HOA.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like to skip that where they go, oh, I don't really care until a huge roof assessment comes out or something.
Yep.
And it's not even that. They're making decisions for you, whether it's a formal paid board or a voluntary board.
Yep.
And so that's the part that I think is also different, but also very important down here of if you just turn your head and forget it, you're going to just pay and do whatever somebody else decided for you.
Correct.
And you just know that then.
And I mean, I would tell anybody, any association you're living in or own property in, it's good to stay involved and be aware, whether it be, more so don't ignore notices.
Yes.
Just at least have an idea of what's going on within your association, within your community. Myself, I actually, I ran a president of my individual HOA.
Oh gosh, I don't ever want to do that. Good for you.
And I was also president of the entire master association, which governed all 4 associations within the community. It is the most thankless job you will ever find. It was a long 5 years. I did it more so to protect my property value.
Of course.
And it's where I lived and where I.
Well, because you always see the bigger picture.
Correct. But it was definitely you never heard anybody complimenting.
I say thank you.
All they ever did was complain.
I am so nice to my board. Okay. I'm so nice. And ours is voluntary.
Yeah.
So I am like, I can't even imagine people wanting and willing to do that. And so I am so grateful. So you're not my neighbor. That's why I would be nice to you. I would tell you, thank you.
Yeah. No, it's definitely,
it is a hard job and you put yourself through a lot. And then it also affects your enjoyment of the neighborhood or Kent. Where people either love you or they do not like you.
Yeah, it's a pure volunteer position,
but
at
I
the same
appreciate
time,
it.
Those that don't like what you're doing, it's sometimes just walking down the street
That's exactly
in the community might get dirty looks. But like I said, if you're doing it for the right reasons, it's a good thing.
But we need those people and it's great. So in terms of those of us that get to own properties and just enjoy, it's a really important, especially down here, the way they operate, really important responsibility and task.
Yeah.
And it makes a whole lot because some of these have, social pieces that are going along in addition to restaurants inside the communities and all these different things that are decisions that are being made. And so it's hugely important and very valuable. And so I now can say, I understand why the fees are where they're at.
Yeah.
At first I was like
I said, if you look at any of the budgets, any community you're buying in, you have the ability to look at the budget and everything, and you'll see what, basically how they're getting to those numbers. I mean, lawn care is not cheap, but they're out there every week taking care of it for you.
Yep.
Sometimes it's got irrigation water involved. Sometimes you got your property management fees involved. Some of them have basic cable included. Some of them have cable and internet included. So, obviously you have communities that are gated. You have those. You have payroll for staff for the gate, that are
Yes.
manning the gate, clubhouse, amenities. I mean, it takes money to run everything.
Yes.
So it's, but there's also adding value to your property
Absolutely.
because you have the amenities to be able to enjoy. So but just like anything else, I mean, they're not, none of the associations are for profit. So everything is all, a net expense. So
Yes.
it's just a matter of, who's doing the best due diligence to find, the lawn care company that's giving the best rate or whatever, stuff like that. So
Yep. And I think our point here is to just say, our area in Southwest Florida is very HOA strong. If that's not something you want the benefit and value of, then you tell your realtor, I am wanting to go non-HOA. I'm wanting to go other communities, which will come to where you have more of everything is on you, your decisions and your own privacy, which is good.
Yep.
So,
Perfect.
all right.
Gated communities. So it's, as Sherry was saying, that, we do have gated communities here. And I would tell you that the main, we definitely get some people up north that are like, oh, I have to have a gated community. And I'll tell you, like you said, Naples is not like other places up north. But at the same time, I mean, I can tell you the gated communities are really beneficial because it keeps solicitors out. It's really the main thing it's going to be doing. It just keeps people from coming in and out through the community.
Yep.
It's not I would tell you, it's not, I mean, back in, I want to say 2010, 2012, we had 4 houses inside of a gated community burglarized. And they caught the people. They were from Orlando, caught them. But it was, the gated community didn't stop that.
Yes.
And it never will. It's,
Yes.
I think
So here's the part that's good and interesting, because I think this also swings to who are the buyers, right? So again, I think that gated is just a very common thing down here where it isn't in other places. There are pieces I've hugely become to appreciate. I'm a single female. I'm on social media. There's a lot of that is not fun. And so I, had the wrong idea about pretension. It's not at all. So for myself, I'm at a physical manned gate 24/7.
Yeah.
And I realize I just need that when I'm by myself.
And that's the great thing about them is there's different types of gated communities. And I think, those that are, especially snowbirds and vacation home owners down here.
Yes.
It's nice when you're back up north
That's
for
the
3,
thing.
4, 5 months and the home is empty. It's nice, in a gated community where you're definitely not getting people just driving around within your community and seeing the same house, empty and nobody coming in and out of it where they can monitor it. So there's definitely value there. But, you have some that are, some of our gated communities are there's a guard at the gate just during the daytime from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. or something like that. We have some that are, like where you are, it's manned 24/7. There's always somebody there. We have some that also have, in addition to the gate, they have roving patrol security that drives around the community, especially on the bigger communities. Some are just a virtual guard where, you push the button and you're basically on camera. You're speaking to somebody sitting in an office and they decide to push the button to let you in or not.
And I've discovered one recently that you have to put your driver's license in at the gate security.
Correct. Yep.
So they scan the whole license.
Yep. Exactly. And then you also have some that there's no man there at all.
Yes.
I live in a gated community, but there's a call box, but that's it. There's, there's no virtual, there's no person there. So it's an unmanned gate.
My joke is if you drive in with a sports car, they don't ask the name. This is what happened in the beginning. And I'm like, I had to call my security guard, excuse me, because depending on what they were driving, they wouldn't ask. And I'm like, they were clients, but I was like, no, you ask every darn person about what this is. I don't care about the sports car, but some of our jokes down here in Naples.
Yeah. So but like I said, the nice thing about the gated communities, it definitely gives, for those that want the added comfort, like yourself, or those that are gone, we have Europeans, we have Canadians, they're gone for 6, 7 months at a time. And so, they want the gated community where, they, basically it's more so just your neighbors around the area. It's not anybody, the public is driving through.
Yes.
So
very good benefit.
yes, very much.
Did you get everything?
Yep.
Okay. Ooh. So this is unfortunately, I can't stick a link in here well enough for you. What you have to do is copy this, because what I want to show them is Nick's got some beautiful listings that are in gated communities.
Yeah, this is the one that's in Marbella Isles that I mentioned.
Yes, it's beautiful.
It's a really nice house. And but Marbella Isles, it's a gated community. It's a manned gate. There's one gate is unmanned, basically like a private entrance just for residents. They have cameras there, of course, but the front gate, the main gate entrance to it is manned all the time, 24/7. And it's a community that has a lot of amenities to it. It's a huge clubhouse. There's an indoor basketball court, um, big resort pool. There's even like a little kids spray park, bocce ball, pickleball, tennis, playground. I mean, there's so much to do inside. There's a pool table, there's card tables, a game room in there for the kids. So it's one of those communities that's you get a lot for your money. Your quarterly fees are like $1,400 a quarter. So you're paying a little bit less than $500 a month for all those amenities, plus your lawn care is taken care of. So,
Yes.
and it's gated communities, man. So it's a lot of things you get, and it's less than $500 a month for all that. So,
And it's
that's the unique
actively
thing.
for sale for real. We're not showing you a pretend house. So
it
you
is.
can call Nick. That link when you
It is
copy,
for
it'll
sale.
go to Nick's website. And so,
Yeah.
and then we'll go to one other just to show them another gated. And so what I want to point out as well is this one has a very different flavor, feel area than the next one. And this one's out at Wild Blue.
Yeah, this one's up in the Estero, Wild Blue.
Yeah,
Another
beautiful.
similar to Marbella Isles as far as like the amenities in there.
Yep.
Big gated community. They're actually still building new homes in there
Yes.
as well. This is in their peninsula section, which is the high-end custom homes.
So
built
this
by
one's
stock.
gorgeous. I
Yeah.
like this one for lots of reasons, but it is the photo that I also used on our live previously.
Yes, yeah, it
And
is.
so it is a gorgeous house, and it's got a perfect sunset in the back and lots of big, huge windows.
so
That's what I love about it.
Yeah, that community it was built on a quarry, so it's there's natural lakes in there, and this one sits on. I think there's over 700 acres of lakes, and this one sits on the largest lake, over 550, 560 acre lake. And this one looks just due west
It's
all
just
the way across.
Gorgeous.
All the way to the other side of the lake is the clubhouse amenities and stuff like that. So they have two clubhouses there. One's more like for their social
Yes.
in their restaurant and the resort pool and stuff like that. The other one's the sports club, where it's got the tennis, the golf, the exercise workouts, the sauna steam rooms, and the yoga studios and stuff like that. So it actually even has a marina. There's
Yes.
boating on the lake.
Lots of
and
people
you'll
who
see
love
paddle
boats out
boarders out there, jet skis. So
Yes.
it's a really unique community.
Yes.
So,
And then coming back into town, it's by a lot of shopping, which a lot of people
Yes.
like. So they like both those two things.
exactly. Close to the
Yeah.
airport and everything. So
Yes.
good stuff.
Super nice.
So resort
So,
developments.
Another
So,
style.
yep. so
This is
these-
what I'm in by accident.
Yeah.
Because I don't golf. So I went in the resort development.
Yeah, so resort developments, some of them have golf courses, some of them
Yeah.
do not.
Okay.
But really, these are like your huge, major, big developments, but they're also big social clubs that are there. And a couple examples like Fiddler's Creek, Laley Resort. We mentioned Laley earlier. It has golf courses there that are optional to join. Pelican Bay is a very popular
Mhm.
one here in Naples. Wild Blue that I just mentioned as well, where you've got just massive clubhouses, restaurants, dining options, several dining options. a lot
Lots
them.
of pools usually.
Lots of pools, huge, fitness rooms. Sometimes these things are 3, 4, 5,000 square foot fitness centers. So and you're really kind of catered, especially like at the resort pool area.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's full wait staff out there waiting on you.
What I love, and people come for different reasons. So some come because I want to just the resort style because I pretend I don't work, but I work. I appreciate it, my own stuff. But it's also so nice for your company.
Yeah.
When your company comes down, a lot of times your company's looking to, not that we have to provide all this stuff, right? But if you have it, it just feels like they get this vacation away from all the other
Yeah.
things and whatever. And they feel like they're in sometimes foreign area because some of these are designed after different parts of the world even.
Yep.
And they get to just come in and have that. I'm living at a resort for a week with you and then go home.
Yeah. Well, whether it be, friends that come down,
Yeah.
kids, grandkids
Yeah.
that come down, spring break and so on. It's nice to, like I said, it's a full resort.
Yeah.
It feels like you're on vacation.
Yes.
Pelican Bay has actually, part of theirs is 2 beach clubs. They have
Yes.
2 restaurants, that obviously they're rebuilding them from Hurricane Ian, but 2 restaurants that sit on the beach, and it's hard to find restaurants anywhere in Naples, anywhere in South Florida that have restaurants on the beach now because
Yes.
communities have taken them, unfortunately. But that's it's a community where if you buy in there, it's a mandatory social membership, and it's not even that expensive. It's like $2,600 a year, and you have
Yes.
all the amenities there.
I would do that.
Yeah, and it's to have 2 different restaurants to go to, and beach chairs, everything's out there for you. You don't even have to bring anything with you. Bring a book or bring a towel, but That's it. Everything's out there for you, provided.
I think I could do that.
Yeah. And like I said, if you're sitting on the beach and you're thirsty, all you do is raise a little flag on the chair, and wait staff comes around and brings you a cocktail if you want one. So
It is.
that's pretty nice. Yeah. It's a pampered lifestyle.
Yes, it is
So-
fun. And Nick and I also have friends that have places at different places where I have some that are there and they'll just let me bring my clients with their membership. And so they're like, do you want to go to the private beach for the day and see, do you want to buy here?
Yeah.
And so we have nice resources available to us.
Yeah. It definitely helps. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Good.
luxury. We
Mhm.
have Naples is definitely a luxury town.
It
you know,
is.
single family. We have Port Royal is probably one of the most well-known luxury communities in the world, if not in the U.S. for sure.
With the prices, significantly in there, but it's because that is what it's catered to.
Correct. Yeah,
Um,
and it's a. Some of them are on the beach. I mean, you're seeing $60 million sales like nothing. Some of them are on the water. No, kind of deep access to some extent. I've seen some 80-foot yachts back in there, 100-foot yachts in there. No bridges to deal with, and a lot of things. Those are $20-25 million in there. Other communities, we have Ritz-Carlton residences here now. We're one of the few places in the world that has 2 Ritz-Carlton hotels, and they're 2 miles apart from each other, 3 miles apart from each other. And but now we have Ritz residences being built here, right by the Ritz-Carlton beach, where the beach Ritz-Carlton. And we also have a couple others. Kalia Bay is a huge condo complex that they're still building. They're finishing up Tower 4, and they have one more tower to go.
Yes.
It's the only community in Naples right now that has rooftop pools. So there's another one coming in. They haven't CO'd anything yet in there, but when that place, Kalia Bay, started opening up and stuff, to have didn't matter if you're on the 3rd floor where you couldn't see the water, the 7th, 8th floor where you had nice water views, or the penthouse, everybody got to go upstairs to the rooftop. There's an exercise room, there's a club room up there, TV, and a pool and grills, and so it was unique type of places. They're all right now $4 or $5 million condos overlooking the Gulf. They also have a huge resort center amenities with it. Several restaurants, and the pool bars, the resort pools, the huge fitness centers, the tennis courts, all the lifestyle that everybody's always looking for. So
the Ritz-Carlton Estero Bay is 500 acres.
Yeah.
They got the last land really in Bonita. And I went to their grand opening, and it was amazing. And the residents are being built on just 30 acres of it.
Yeah.
And so then they're leaving and going, of course, to a golf course and all these unbelievable things.
Yeah.
And they're selling amazingly well. And so I think that part of it is, here in Naples, we are known worldwide for some of the really luxury, whether it's a known brand around the world or that private exclusive, because we have a few of them coming in even now on brand new builds, which is cool. I like the fact that we have offerings of everything. From all different price points. And a lot of people don't realize that, but a lot of them choose us both for our flight ability here with private airport, international airport, and then also some of these luxury amenities that they can do. A few of our people just come in for Christmas.
Yeah. Oh,
and they're
absolutely.
allowed to do that if they want to.
Yeah. And finally have a 4 Seasons coming in, which is good. That's being built right now. Like I said, the airports are great. The private Naples airport, Fort Myers International, and really from where we are in Naples, within 2 hours, 2.5 hours, you've got the Tampa airport, the Fort Myers airport, the Punta Gorda airport, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami. So you have five airports, 4 of which are international.
Yes.
So you can pretty much almost always get a direct flight into the area.
Yes.
So
and also our Southwest Florida International has got 1,000 acres that they're now developing. They can't sell. So it is for lease, for builds and things like that, but they're expanding. And so we know what's going to happen. People are going to want to come here more.
And most people that fly in and out of there all say the same thing. That is one of the nicest airports.
Clean,
it is
nice,
so simple to go through. It's very really nice. So it's great for Southwest Florida for sure.
Okay. I'm laughing at myself. I got to move us. I'm going with glasses. All right. I apologize. I'm switching us up to. There we go. Now we're going to talk about the private business. So our other communities that we stuck in here are really what a lot of you may be used to. And so that will be your places that they don't have the HOA, that they don't have some of these restrictions. So
Correct. Yeah. Like we have one of them, Golden Gate Estates, and I'm going to miss. It's the largest subdivision in the country, and it's something like 20 square miles or something like that. It's massive. Everything in there sits on over at least a minimum of 1.14 acres of land, and there's basically no restrictions, which has its benefits and it has its downsides too. I mean, keep in mind, you yourself, you can paint your house whatever color, you can, install your landscaping, whatever you want to do it and stuff like that. Outside of, of course, some county restrictions will be there no matter what, like permitting and stuff like that. But the good thing is, okay, if you want to park 5 vehicles there, you can, no problem. Downside is your neighbor can do the same thing. So even though you're on an acre of land, you still can see neighbors around you and stuff here and there. Depending on your landscaping, of course, you can make it extremely private. But sometimes you'll see, your next door neighbor might have a dump truck or a semi truck. That's their business and what they're parking, where they need to park it. Some of them have boats and RVs and trailers and stuff, and they park. And that's why they're there, because they have the ability to park it there.
But we're also seeing a ton of new construction and have for a good amount of time out in Golden Gate and some beautiful houses.
Oh, absolutely.
Because people that prefer that and prefer the privacy and not wanting the gated, they can build a better cost house on bigger land. So one of them, I'm just going to show you the link as well, is a lot I have for sale that's in Golden Gate. What's cool about this is that it belongs to one of my really sacred people from LinkedIn. His wife actually has had it in her family since 1969.
Wow.
So that is never touched. Raw land that doesn't happen. And so my client, her uncle bought it in 1969. Was going to build.
I'd love to know if he actually drove out there to look at it.
Of course they do.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the road.
Well, he was a pioneer, right?
Yeah.
And so in 69, he's seeing this, oh my gosh, look at this, right? Because a lot of this wasn't built anywhere.
Correct. Yeah.
And so in 69, he thought, gosh, someday we'll build a house here, right?
Yeah.
And then he ended up giving it to his brother, and his brother gave it to my client, the daughter.
Oh, wow.
And so it's been in three sets of people within their family since 1969. Really we chose not to strip it. So everybody else was like, oh, Sherry, strip that thing down and just raw land. I said, we're not touching it. You know why? We don't know who the buyer is that would love it. So I always go, listen, you can't put the trees and the wetlands back.
Yeah.
So we're going to just let it see who is our buyer.
Best case scenario. I mean, like I said, buyer A might want a lot of privacy and a lot of trees on the shade, and buyer B might want it all cleared. I just 2 weeks ago, went out there and my customers bought out there because they're planting fruit trees all over the place, basically like a fruit tree farm.
Okay.
And so they needed all cleared land.
Okay.
So, like I said, you don't know what the buyers want. Yep. So I wouldn't clear it either.
Yep. And the other cool thing that has happened since then, and that's how we know we have a good lot, is that the people right next door are building a brand new, gorgeous house of builder, right?
Yep.
And when you see that, you go, oh, that means that we are a good, decent chunk, and we're on right now, what is a dead end road. So some people like that for privacy. Yep. And also to the other side is an existing home that's been there 15 years. Sure. So it just kind of lets you know, okay, when the block starts going, that's when people start buying right around the block usually, which is a cool thing. So that's fun. And then I just want to mention this one in non-gated. This link actually,
nope, that one's
oh, it's yours.
Yeah,
I'm going back to try to sell your house. Excuse me. Now I'm looking like I don't know what I'm doing. 1 second, guys. I need Nick with his eyes. I have to do this. Oh, I just fasted. Talk about something, Nick. 1 second while I switch this around.
So another, we're looking, we were just talking about Golden Gate Estates, but another community is Naples Park, and it's very popular for Airbnbs.
Yes, it is. I have friends who own that.
It's 4 blocks wide by 120, or pardon me, 20 blocks north, south, I believe.
It's a great location.
It's right between Immokalee and Vanderbilt Beach Road, and so you have access. You walk to the beach, you can bike to the beach. You're west of 41, so very quick access. You have Mercado.
Lots of private pools also.
Yeah.
Right there. So I have a friend who owns Airbnb.
Almost all single family homes. Some of them are duplexes, attached villas, but it's a great, I mean, like I said, you're close to everything, and there's really no restrictions as far as, people telling you what to do on, park cars. Basically, I think the only rule is if you have a, boat or trailer, it has to be behind a fence. And then you can't park on the grass. It's pretty much the only rules.
Yes. And it's close to Mercado, one of our well-known places people like to go. Like I said, I have a friend who owns in there and a very successful Airbnb. And Nick and I know of one that is ready for a flip. So there's one for sale in Naples Park. That's a good one. If you're somebody who goes, hey, I want to pick one up that hasn't been remodeled yet.
Yeah.
And you want to either do it for yourself because that location's good, or Airbnb. So call us. And so
Good
we'll
stuff there.
give you that option as well. This one I want to point out is actually one of my business partners, and it is in Cape Coral. It is a not gated situation. A lot of people prefer that. A lot of our clients fly in from other parts of the world or US. This one is a brand new construction. It's gorgeous. And he is a builder of residential homes. He'll do 8 set of vacation homes in Cape Coral soon. And so I point this one out. He does have someone flying in to look at it for a good option today, but I wanted to show it to you just in case they don't buy it. Maybe you would like to. So I like to show all the different things that we have. So, all right. Absolutely want variety here. And I think that is our final formal piece. I'm going to take this off here. I think we got everything. So we didn't mean to overwhelm you today.
Hopefully we didn't.
I don't think we did. We did a pretty good job besides my one little stumble right there. But we just wanted to also share with you the fun and the good and all the different options here that I think some people are aware of, some didn't know.
Yeah.
But I think it's a beautiful display of different communities we have here, and yet everybody cares about the area and what we're doing here and having it safe and good. That's a big deal to us. I appreciate that. And so it makes it tourism and people enjoying real estate here a big part of our industry.
Yeah.
And so we do a great job with that. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's like I said at the beginning, it's a beautiful place to be selling real estate and a beautiful place to live. So.
I'm not complaining too bad. I'm staying, even though it's a little hot. And we have these beautiful maps. And so if you guys need anything.
If there's community, even if you already own a home here in Naples in the community and you're like, hey, I'd love to have a map of my own community, reach out to one of us. We'll help, if they have, like I said, there's only 25 or so communities we have it in, some of the larger ones, but get one mailed to you.
Yeah.
So.
The other reason we brought up all these developments is this is what I know it's going to happen. We talked a lot about where you'd like to buy, but you know what's going to happen. Someone's going to go, oh, I'm in this development, but now I want to switch to this other, because that happens all the time here. So if you're in a development that you've enjoyed and I would like to sell it, we can help you too, because it happens all the time here where somebody will start, especially it can be golf or resort or whatever, where they go, at this stage of my life, I liked this, or when I first got here, I thought I wanted to do that, but now I want to do this. The sellers happen a lot too, and that's okay.
We definitely have a lot of buyers that they use stepping stones. They'll buy that little 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo, $300,000, and just come down and vacation here and there when they can, semi-retired, and then over the years as they become more retired or want to use the property more often, come to Naples more often, they'll sell the condo, buy the bigger home. Sometimes they downsize up north and buy a condo there instead. And make Naples their primary residence, and so they buy the bigger home down here and stuff. And it's very common, like I said, transfer. A lot of times we have real estate transferring within the community.
Yes.
So
which is great. Because Nick can't remember, I'm going to tell you where you can contact him.
I know it's Nick Sells Naples. I know that.
Oh, he knows Nick Sells Naples, but Nick Sells Naples is on Instagram. So that's where you'll find him there. He's nickbobzien.com on his own website, and he is on his own name, Nick Bobzien, at LinkedIn. You can find me easy out in my name on LinkedIn. You can also find me on business WhatsApp. If you do my name and then the profile is a Naples boat I'm on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's what all I'm going to tell you today. I appreciating the opportunity with you guys. And again, you can always rewatch these recordings. Nick and I are going to keep coming up with a wide variety of, sometimes showcasing our wonderful Naples, sometimes doing regular real estate. We'd love to hear if you guys have any topics or things you want us to talk about, because we enjoy real estate of all capacities. So thank you for joining us.
Fun to talk about it.
It absolutely is. Thanks for joining us, you guys. Have an awesome day.
Thank you.